gonna have the time of your life. Come book your getaway. Fly away, feel the breeze on your skin. The sunshine so relaxing. Come on and book your trip right now with Tiff. Caribbean Resort, relax and have a sip. Make your reservation today, sending joy and laughter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And I just wanted to say thank you for joining me again. This has been such an amazing experience where I'm able to come on and share with you not just about travel, because Trip with Tiff is just more than just travel. The Caribbean and Cruise Connection is what I'm known for, but I'm wanting to also acknowledge the fact that Trip with Tiff is evolving, like we all are, right? I'm evolving, and in that evolution and as I'm evolving, I'm realizing that the Triplative brand is more than a journey. It's like what we all face. And so I wanted to be able to speak to others who inspire, who encourage, and who walk the walk, and they're proven by their what they show. And so, without further ado, I have the most amazing, because all my guests are amazing to me because they're someone who I follow, um, and I honor and appreciate all the efforts that they do. And so, without further ado, I have Miss Seasoned Dialogue, Miss Lisa Marie.
Hey,
Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
doing good.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being a part. Tell me, how you doing, girl?
Doing good. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Thank God for that. So I wanted to start. Many people see you on social media. This amazing, beautiful woman who is speaking so eloquently. Where did it all begin? Because my husband had to say it. He was like, "She's got a voice on her. She can." I'm like, "Yes." I wonder if she can sing. But let me just. I'm gonna ask.
Oh my goodness. Well, to answer your question, I can sing, but I ain't gonna sing right now.
Oh, I would put. Nah, I asked for that later, girl. I asked for that later.
But you know what? I don't know. I think writing has always been my medium. Not so much speaking. I didn't really get into speaking until I'm gonna honestly say maybe 2 years ago. That's when God was really dealing with me.
Are you serious,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Lisa?
Yeah.
So this is amazing because when we see you, you're poised.
Yeah.
And I see, and I've followed you for a while. I know that you've been deemed, or you call yourself this introverted person.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, who knew? Who would ever thunk it? Right. So, how did you begin this journey? Where did it all begin?
Yeah. So writing, like I said, writing has always been my medium. It's always been my safe space. Since I could remember, I mean, just writing my thoughts, writing into my diary. And that was just my way of expressing. But like I was saying, about 2 years ago, I felt like God was like really dealing with me heavy. You know how you get to a point in your life where you're feeling the transition and the changes in your life. And God is, well, for me, I can't speak for everyone else, but God was showing me some things always throughout my life, showing me visions. But I think fear, because I am an introvert and speaking ain't my thing. So I thought.
So I was gonna say now. Hello. I'm like, peep, hello.
Yeah, so I would always get these reoccurring dreams, no lie. And I would, you know what, it was nightmares to me, right? So the nightmare that I would always get, the reoccurring dream, is me standing on a stage and talking to people. And my anxiety is so crazy to where it's almost like I can really feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could feel it in the dream, the anxiousness. And so really this part is really just healing. It was, it really, it began with something just, I wanted to, number one, I wanted to take accountability for my life.
Yes.
Number two, I wanted to show up just being intentional. And number three, I was just pouring, but not in the terms of, oh, I'm going to start this social media page and do so. It was really for me. And I know that it is definitely ordained and just covered by God. When I tell people that I literally started this last year of January 2022,
I remember.
in 3 months, I really saw like people engaging, and I was like, this is weird.
Because can I just be honest? Because you've been seeing my stuff for a while. I've been
Mhm.
inboxing you, asking about the jewelry and stuff, and you responded. I was like, whoa. How was that change and that shift?
It was scary because when you're put into that realm, when you're not even thinking like, again, it's not for social media, it's for me. And when people were actually like starting to follow, they were sending me messages, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It was overwhelming at first, but what's so beautiful about it is that many of the things that people shared with me were some of the things that I had already gone through.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it wasn't hard for me to, sometimes people just need someone to listen. And that really was all people were doing, just messaging me and just saying what they had been through and just having a dialogue back and forth through messages. And I never felt like I was being pulled out of my element. I just kind of felt like I was sitting with a friend and we were just talking.
That's exactly. And this is how I'm gonna be honest with you. This
Mhm.
is what it was for me, for you, with you. There's several people that are online who are talking that talk, and they're doing that thing, and they're in their own gift in their own special way, right? But it was something about your poisedness, how poised you are, how you just keep doing. Um, and it's effortlessly,
Mhm.
it's smooth, like butter. Your words. My husband's like, she's a lyricist. Can she rap? I'm like, no, no, she can't rap. I don't know if she can rap, but I know I'm gonna ask.
Like I said, one day I said to myself, was I a rapper at some point in my
Back in the
life?
day, in the other realm.
Yes.
So how do you go from the transition? Because now, and that pool is very real.
Yeah.
I'm not as deep as you are in there, but even with looking at those numbers, there is a pool that comes in.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself grounded in that space? And what suggestions do you give to others when they're maybe facing not just on social media, but just in life?
What's beautiful about the whole thing is when I was for me, the transition of just life itself, I had to learn what boundaries meant. And so I was already equipped with it by the time that I was, showing up for myself. And so it was just something to utilize at that point.
So
Um,
so explain to them what you meant by boundaries. Because see, let's reenact it right now. I'm your girl.
uh-huh.
And you told me this, but girl, I ain't worried about what you got going on. What I need to talk about is what I got going on.
Mhm.
And never mind what you doing. How do you I know no one's online can relate to that because they don't have people like that, but or it could be people that you're close to that they crossed the line. At what point, what were some of the ways that you were able to, because that boundary thing is real, especially
I,
when the line has been crossed of disrespect.
come
It's
on now.
like
Come on now. I
I'm realizing more people are kind of calling back their power, reclaiming their time. They are requiring better of people because if you show me who you are and you cross the line, that's ultimately who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, saying no was my biggest thing, not wanting to disappoint people. I would, hang on to the phone or in talking to the friends and linked. And I'm talking about, they all call me like their own therapist. And while it sounds great, people can really pull and take a lot of your energy. And more than just an introvert, I'm an empath. So I feel
Yes.
I feel people when they're telling me something, I'm like going deep into their circumstance, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed thinking about, wow, like so and so is really going through it. It took me a moment to realize with people as well and with close friends, because
Yes.
sometimes people don't do it purposely. Like when you're the person that they lean on, you're their go-to, you're their safe space, and that's okay. But when the tables are turned and I need a moment, and it's like you give me 5 seconds and then you going back on to your thing, that's when I realized that it wasn't equal. I was pouring more and I wasn't getting much back. But what I will say, with many of my friends, there it was understood, like there's a fear that you can't stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself because
Mm.
the fear of rejection. But what I can say with my friends was I just had to step out and say, hey, I remember that time when, and girl, like I was really going through, and I think because I've always been the one you depended on, like you thought I had it, but
Right.
I needed you right then. And then that's that realization, like, oh, friend, I'm so sorry. And we worked it out. But sometimes in family dynamics, right?
Come
And
on.
that's first, whew,
Come
that's
on.
the way they depend on you and you cannot take it anymore. Your no is your no. You lose people. They don't want to talk to you. They silence you. Oh, you think
Mm.
you're better than. And
Oh.
I had to
Oh.
moments like I'm still the same person, but at the end of the day, have y'all ever thought about what I need? And
Mm.
so I don't want to say this and be brash about it, but
No.
the
Just say
reality is that sometimes the way people behave to your no is all that you need to know. That's it.
say it again. Repeat. I know that hello in the back. In the back. Yes. Lisa, continue.
Yes,
Say it
yes,
again, please.
yes. The way that people behave, the way that they show up when you assert that no, that's all you need to know. Just let it stay right there. Don't fight them about
No,
it.
no,
Um, don't match energies. It's
not
like
matching.
I
No.
got it. Good.
And and that's the thing, because how many times in families or just in general, someone could violate,
Yes.
and then when you say, "Hey, this ain't the first time you've done this. This is like what you do."
Hmm.
And just because it's the family member, we just say, "Oh, that's just how so and so is. That's
Mm,
just how." We could just, that no longer works for me.
that's right.
And I often look at situations in my life. I honestly think that my diagnosis with MS
Hmm.
kind of set me down and refocused me, because it really made me have to sit down and think about what situations and how people react and how they are and how they mistreat me, or situations
Hmm.
can lead me to fall back and causes other issues within my health, right? My mental, my spiritual, my nervous system, all of those things. But yeah, we're supposed to jump up and be like, we family. No,
Right. No.
no, no,
No.
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 And that's one of the things that I'm realizing, even when I'm teaching that with my boys, my young men who are 22, 21, and 22, right?
No.
That thing that shoots back at you, like having to say, okay, I want them to advocate for themselves and be able to stand up and be able to do those things. And then call you back out on it. It's like, that's the thing that you pray for, that you wanted them to do. That's
Hmm.
what you're, and then when it comes back at you, it's like, oh, but it's necessary. A
Absolutely.
couple of weeks ago, my youngest, he
Oh.
upchucked me in love. Like,
Oh.
hey, he was walking around here. He probably gonna he's not gonna watch the video anyway. But long story short, he was walking around. He had this outfit on. He had this outfit. He was going out, Lisa. And I roll in there with my chair, and I see him. He had a jumpsuit on. He was cute, girl. He had smelled good. Had his hair locks all up. He was getting up. And I looked down. He was ready to go, girl. I looked down, and he had white socks on with black tennis shoes. I
Girl.
said, Michael Jackson was what was in my hand. That was a violation. You see, was that not a violation?
It was a violation, sis.
Lisa. So I said, son, are you going to change your socks? He says, no, ma'am. I'm not changing socks. I look good. I am.
Mm.
And he's like, and you don't, and I was like, well, you need to, I was offended. I'm the mother. You owe me an apology. He said, no, you owe me an apology because I felt good. And I was going out into the school and you put something in my head to make me second guess myself.
Wow.
And he was like, you projected that onto
Yeah.
me. And that wasn't fair. And so when he came in, he called me when he got back home. I was like, well, son, I'm waiting on my apology. He said, no, you, no, ma'am. So I tried to give him a little sly. Well, mama, I love you. I'm sorry. And he was like, no, ma'am. Like, that ain't coming. That ain't gonna work, mama. He walked out the room and I was like, my mom was sitting here, I'm going. I had to wait until he left out. Mommy left out of the room and I had to pray. I'm like, God, give me the words because this is exactly what I wanted him to be able to do.
Come on
This is what I wanted him to do. And he's putting it right back in me. And so what do you do as a parent? You come in and I had to apologize. And I thanked him for being just that real with me. And I had to make sure that I mentioned it. What was in style back in the day, obviously Michael Jackson stuff is still coming back around because brother said, it was looking fly. He was breaking up the color. And wow. I was like, okay, well, how many times do we really, whenever we're faced with something, do we really make the movement that we're needing to make?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad that you mentioned that when we speak of our children. I had something similar happen to me, but it flipped, on me. So before I even began doing what I was doing, my oldest son, I feel like I'm an introvert. My baby stay in one corner and that's it. He's always himself, but he's like this. He loves art. So anyway, having this conversation with him, so I'm giving him my ideas, and I'm one to go back and forth. Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. And he said, "Mom, why does it matter? At the end of the day, if it's what you want to do it. Like, who are you? Why are you holding yourself back?" And I had one of those moments too. I was like, who are you talking to? But then I had to think, this is the way I consciously raised my children. So now you spent the block on me and I got to sit with what you just said, and you're parenting me in a sense.
Yes.
Back my words. And yes. I was like, you know what? I left the room and I was like, he right. You right.
Yes.
Those things is when we recognize that we have really poured into our children evenly, and when they're able to give it back to us, it's like, I can't even say nothing. You got it.
You got it. You won. Baby, thank you. Like, woo. And it's great because that's what we want. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times we do go through scenarios, through life, business. We have all the different hats that we wear.
Yes.
But most importantly is being able to be solid within who you are.
Right.
How do you keep that balance?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I have 3 boys who keep me accountable.
Wow. How old are they?
20.
Okay.
18 and 14.
Okay.
So they are definitely my accountability people. But I can't compare it to a girl because I've never had any girls.
I don't know anything about girls either.
Boys are not only do they love their mamas, but they are that beautiful armor of protection for us as well.
Yes,
and they set us straight in love.
They do. They do.
Love. Yes,
they do. Both of them do. They really do for me. It's amazing how they are able to watch how their father is with me in regards to how he cares for me.
Yes.
That they take the initiative to say, "Hey, mama, I'm just getting in. I know you're working. I know you're tired or what have you, but I got to get an hour in. I'm going to take a nap real quick. Is there anything you need before?" Having those conversations because they're seeing that that's what their father does. And so how does that carry on outside of just work? How do you carry on when you're dealing with business? Because I know for you, let me first say this. I got to break it up because I had a birthday September 26th and I had a birthday wish. Okay. Right. And I don't know if you remember this, but I had messaged you. I said, listen, my only birthday wish, Lynn, I'm one of your millions of followers, right? So I'm sitting here, I was like, I have a birthday wish, Lisa. I have a dear friend. If you go back through those messages, you're going to find it's hilarious. A dear friend, she's a business bestie of mine who inspires, and she encourages women. I surround myself with the same energy level of people. And she had wanted to be on your podcast. She was like, I really would love to be a part of it. Come to find out, just 2 days ago, you reached out to her and you accepted her. Lynn Meyer. I choose her.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Full circle, girl. Full circle.
Full circle moment. So that's why it's like there's never a moment when you're surrounded with people who same element. It was kind of like when you and I had the conversation. I was like, oh, it's gonna be just 5 minutes, whatever. We spoke and we talked as if
we've been knowing each other forever.
I know, right? Forever, ever. You my girl, forever, ever. Whether you like it or not, I'm your girl. You know what? I'm coming your way. You know I'm due. I got the number. I'm calling you. I know, but that was one of the things that I loved about it. And when she told me that, I just got so emotional because I was like, hold up. She said, listen, Marie. I said, and my mind, it wasn't clicking. And she's like, Tiffany, you remember? I'm like, So yes.
Wow.
The connections, the people that you touch. And even though, because you're doing your Tabitha Brown right now.
Oh, not the Tabitha Brown. Come on now.
You coming through, girl. I was there too when she only had 1,100 people, and I was right there right when she got started. Wow. And look where she is. And that's why I see it with you. You're phenomenon, but it's because of how you are, your walk, not just that talk. You're walking in it and you're moving in it. And that's what's encouraging. And what the world needs more now are people who are doing that. Yeah. And so I think that this is what is needed. I have my girlfriend, someone who I would love to introduce you to as well. Her name is Nanacha. And she's someone that I think would be an amazing opportunity for you all, because you all have the same. I often think that you and her that's your sister. I don't know if you have one, but she's just like you.
Wow.
And that energy is all the same. And she's always been that way, spiritual and have that. But enough of that. What's new for you? What's new? What's going to go on? What do you have planned? Or I know we don't even say plan anymore. What does God have? What do you have in store for yourself? And what is it that you desire?
What I am planning for this year. But then again, you know how time is. It ain't on our time.
It's not on our time.
So I wrote my, to do things in 2023 at the end for 2024. No New Year's resolutions, but intentions to 2024. And so I had so many people.
Hold up, Lisa. We got to go back because this right here, you just said something you didn't even know you said it.
Uh-oh.
So I don't do the whole New Year thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that you're doing the 23 for 24, I do the water initiative. So it's on my desk or something. But I usually do my manifestations that way, where I put water in a jar, mason jar. I write out my intentions for the following year, as if it was already done.
Come on now.
Before I did this, your name was on the list. It's on the thing. I have all those things in place. And my New Year is in October. For whatever reason, it's always in October. And I write it out in blue pen, paper, pour it into purified water, alkaline water. Wow. It's sitting here. I wish I could reach him. I'm short. It's sitting here. I'll send you a picture of it later. And I write it all out. And I'll say, hey, I'm going to have a conversation with Lisa Marie, season dialogue. I'm going to do like as if I've already done these things. It was an amazing year, and I'm writing it.
Yes.
So my New Year, October, here we are. What are we, January 18th? Yes. Already here and set. Woo! And so before I close to write it off, I pray. I pray over it. I thank God, ancestor, support, love, all of that. And then I seal it. Sit it on the desk by the window, and this manifestation comes. So I don't do the drawing on the boards and all that. And that's good for those who do. Absolutely. But for me, I think that in the water. And so if you could see, I'm going to send you a picture. It's clear as day. So my intentions I can see. Yes. So when you're saying that you do those things, that is what being intentional and calling for. So what's on the intention, girl? So we can touch and agree.
Woo! You know, you never know what you have until someone or people tell you what you have. And so I didn't have an endpoint last year. There was nothing that I felt like I needed to do extra. I had so many people to hit me up and say, you ever thought about doing an audio album of meditation or
Girl, yes.
And I was like, what? Because, you know, when we hear our voices, it don't sound the same. And I'm like, what?
Your voice is amazing. So you can say the alphabet and just say A, B. And I'm like, A, B, go Lisa, D, 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 D.
So that is on my bucket list to do this year.
You need backup.
Come on now.
I can't sing, but I. Go Lisa, go Lisa, go Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you.
That is one. That is one.
Okay. All right.
There's a young lady who hit me up the end of 2023 for me to narrate a book for her. So I'll be doing that next month. And I've been getting a lot of narration. Right.
I was going to say, you're going to get voice gigs.
So I'll be doing that as well.
That's going to be amazing.
Writing a book. I am in the process of writing a book. So,
well, tell me about the cards because I have them right here. Share with the people. Tell the people what these are about. I have mine. So I wanted to open it with you, so that's why I should have sent them back so I can get you to autograph each and every one of them. Well, you know, I'm still gonna come see you, so I'll get it.
Cards are beautiful reminder cards. You know, this was a process of thinking of what words that I could use to utilize with men and women. But I think the more that I began to write, I resonated with women. I didn't want it to be sexist, but it ended up being geared more to women. I'm just in touch with me, so I wanted to pour. And I intentionally thought about these words for all of us to just soak into. We got self-care, we got unplug, we have joy.
Talk about that self-care, because that's been a cliche thing, and we want to make sure we break that thing down. So, because, you know, when people see self-care, like, oh, what is that? Let's break that thing down, girl.
There, to me, in my opinion, now,
come on,
varies from person to person. But here's the thing: when I think about self-care, for me, self-care is stepping into this place where, first of all, I'm putting myself first. Okay, I'm taking care of me mentally, me spiritually, emotionally. Listen, I got to have my prayer time. I have to have my sit with me time. I have to have my writing time. I have to have a moment to just be in me. Now, if that means that while I'm thinking and meditating and writing, I'm in my, you know, in my tub and I got my bubble bath. Well, come on. That's self-care physically. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But care is care for self. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. We are quieting the noise around ourselves and we are digging deep into us. Wherever that place takes you, that is my definition of what I feel like self-care. It isn't, you know, and some people, you know, may describe self-care, you know, as a woman, you know, getting your nails and your hair done. And now, while I think that those things are implemented into it, I also think that's an addition. But I
agree.
Yeah, we want.
I'm talking about that soul. I'm talking about the heart, because I can chip a nail and I will chip it.
Yes,
is that gonna disturb my self-care? No, I want to get real. Like the nail, I can take these things off. Look. Travis would probably love it if I didn't pay $100 or to get my nails and stuff done. But really, ultimately, that gut, that heart, right?
Yes.
And I think that's when it's important. When you take the time to say, and that's what is important. And I think you having and creating this, my best friend, Nanacha, wants to also create cards as well and to do that because that's intention.
It is
setting
intentional.
it, and we're partnering and having escapes where people can do that.
Yes.
So wow,
Mm.
wow,
Mm.
girl, I want to cry, but I can't. Okay,
Don't
so
cry. Come on now. If you gonna cry, I'm gonna cry with you, and we gonna hug. We gonna burst.
oh, that's my girl. Lisa. Woo. Okay, so anything that you want to say to the people and
Mm.
encourage, and because I don't want to keep you.
I'll say this, I say this a lot in my messages, but this is very true. One thing we all know as adults is life be life, and right?
Okay.
And life is going to do what life is going to do, but we have to learn how to navigate. I think so often people want to give up because things don't go their way. And what I've learned in my life is we don't necessarily always 100% have control of the things that happen to us. But after it happens, there's this epiphany, this growth that we have, these things that we pick up on that I feel like is the positive out of what we come out of. Because so many people concentrate on, oh, I went through this. This happened to me. And I get it. Like, have your woe is me moment. Definitely, that's yours. But
Yes.
let's not stay in that woe is me moment, because when you stay in that woe is me moment, baby, you ain't growing. You're stifling yourself, because now you looping,
Mm.
life done did me this way, people done did me this way, but what did you learn after life? What did it show you about yourself, and what did it show you about others? And when we can implement what we learned into going into the next realm or the next journey or whatever
Yes.
we're going
Said
at,
it.
you're more equipped so you can handle it. You're good.
Yes. And most of the time, your ancestors, they've already laid it out for you.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
go back and you pay attention,
Hmm.
we're too busy talking.
Come on.
I got it. I got it. I'm going to do.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Mm.
Mm.
It's like learn to quiet yourself, right? Like we're all gonna have those moments where we're gonna be sad, we're gonna be angry, like feel
Yes.
feelings,
Feel
but
it.
not sit in it and just describe our life as being so horrible. Like, life has so much to give us that is wrapped in joy, but we look over those small moments and concentrate on all of the negative things that have happened to us, and that is not what that's not what living is for me, you
No.
know.
No. No.
Mhm.
Wow. So,
Yes.
when is there going to be a big event that I would love to honor to host, to create a
Mm.
space for you and your people, for them to come to you and we create that space? Have you maybe Nanacha, I choose her, maybe something like a symposium that we create a
Mm.
space.
Girl, keep on talking. What we gonna do? What we
You
gonna
already know.
do?
You already know. We're gonna sit down at the round. I'm bringing my round table,
Mm.
and I'm just gonna make sure that your chair is already it's already there, Queen. So you're gonna, I don't usually use that term, but
Ooh.
I think that that's what more intimate spaces where women can come together and have this conversation.
Yes.
Mature women who are wanting to change and shift and we
Mm-hmm.
create that space. And I know having you a part of that would be a dream. So we're gonna have a conversation.
Oh yeah.
I know I mentioned a little, but I want to make sure that at some point we get with your schedule and we map it out. But I think that this is going to be pivotal,
I would
and
love to.
even to reach the young girls, young women.
Oh my God, that
There's
is
so much.
impressionable time. So such an impressionable time. Young women, young girls. You know what? I wanna just for a moment before, we close or whatever.
You got it.
Many times when I'm thinking back over my life, and even when I'm talking to friends or maybe people that I don't know, when they rehash as a woman the influential moments in their life, it's always that from that teenage year up until like that mid to later, 20s, when you're trying to find yourself. Like, everything is so confusing.
Yeah.
Many mistakes are made. And I think that when women are coming out of it, you go back to that moment and you think, wow, like I messed up so many times. But it's like, again, I'm one of those people that think, yeah, you may have messed up. But girl, didn't you learn something?
Ooh.
Catch those women at that time to let them know, like, baby, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fall. You're going to look a little stupid sometimes. It's okay. Like, we all have gone through. And to be, a woman to sit aside another woman, a young woman, and just, many women don't have women who, number one, can be real with them, have that back, have their back, and just be honest about what they went through. And I think that's what women are missing, because they think that perfection is in womanhood, and it's not.
Right. It's not, like, really. It's not about the red bottoms, although they're so cute.
Oh, come on.
And it's not about these inches, okay?
Yeah.
Yours is beautiful, but it ain't about that. It's about your core and having a basis, and not getting caught up into what else is out there. Those other rappers who are doing they're not they're not leading the example for it.
Right.
But it's time for women to stand up and call for action. Absolutely. And to move and set the example. So I'm with you, Ananacha, Lynn. We all can work, and whomever you want. This can be a conversation that I think that is amazing to have, and then to enact and create a space for that. And we gonna make that happen. Absolutely. I want to thank you for being seasoned dialogue, because it's seasoned, baby. We need a song.
All the seasonings.
All the seasoning. What's in your seasonings, girl, before we go? What's your seasoning?
Listen, we got some
what's your dialogue season with? I hear love. I hear love is in there.
We got some love. We have passion. We have affirmation in there. Positivity.
I hear it.
Oh goodness, we have lessons to be learned. Like, it's so much.
It's so much.
And when we get done with it, baby,
yes,
it's gonna be a good old meal.
Oh, good old meal. Good sop it up.
You better talk biscuit. Listen, look. You get me, because we Southern girls. So you are.
You already know. Look, we ain't even have to pick a no for. We gonna take that and mix it all up in there with them collard greens and that cornbread. How you doing? All the way.
Make you slap your mama, but not really.
No, not really, because my mama slapped me back. So I ain't gonna do that.
That part.
Yeah, Dr. Rogers don't play. I ain't messing with her. I ain't messing with her. So I thank you so much, so much. And of course, this won't be our last time having conversations, and I appreciate you. Continued blessings for you. And that's it. You have an amazing day.
Thank you.
All right, good night. All right, you all. So you have witnessed someone who is so amazing to me, and also for you who joined. Thank you, each and every one of you, for taking the time out of your schedule to come on and to watch and to even comment. I think that this was an amazing opportunity to get to know her on a lighter note. Like, just, she's that girl. She's that woman. She's that lady. And so many of the ones who are here, you're that girl too. You're that lady. You hear Chloe. She's that girl. She's back as the door closed. And I thank you all for being who you are. Thank you for inspiring. Thank you for being in your role and doing what you need to do. And I'll talk to you. I love you. I do. And there is nothing. I mean, nothing, nada, zada, zilch. There's nothing you can do about it. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Later.
Reservation today, sending joy and laughter your way. Contact us today at tripwithtiff.com.